some mic that talk about all the weird things they like, making all the topics up as they go, kind of just going on with the flow. So welcome to the show. Sit on your chair and just go and play. Coming to your screen now without delay. Listen to the rant any time of day.
Hello, everyone! It has been a hot minute. Welcome, everyone. Are you two not going to say hi to the audience?
Well, I'm busy
Hi,
tweeting
audience.
to the masses that they need to come
okay.
in here.
Oh, okay.
I'm also
Okay,
particularly
gaslight me that
busy.
I'm the problem here.
No. I'm like, that's what I said. That's my excuse for my silence. I'm going like, I'm gonna take this really
what's
quick.
Max's
Come on,
excuse?
we're radio.
My excuse is that for some reason I managed to A, have the stream not muted, and B, have so much delay that it basically, I only heard the theme song start playing when you already started talking, as in welcoming the audience, and this confused me so much that it just froze up.
I mean, I'm not sure how that works given that the stream's on low latency, so it shouldn't be that bad.
Tell that to my internet, or the Atlantic Ocean, or whatever.
I don't know. Hey, Singing Guy, thank you for joining as a channel member. Thank you so much. I don't like that Wolfhead said we gaslighting Chrissy. Can I help? No. No, that's not what this stream is
He's doing
about.
a little trolling.
Another day, Wolf. But yeah, Singing Guy. Before we welcome Singing Guy, what kind of music?
Oh, I forgot that I had.
I mean,
okay, just to
Singing
explain
Guy
to
could
people.
be singing sea shanties.
Okay, I don't know what song Singing Guy is singing.
Also,
Also,
we're gonna go back to that period of the pandemic.
oh,
When
the
every
Wellerman,
listens-
the Wellerman trend.
yeah. Yeah.
But I also just want to explain, some people asked why is Will's face on the little icons. It's because I was trying to fix the Streamlabs thing, because I also stream for DA Radio. But it affected my notifications, and I haven't changed it back to, like, my little Keytato and stuff. So you're just gonna see Will's face if you donate. Sorry, he's not here.
It's like, and he's here-ish.
He's here in spirit. I think he's camping. But
Wait,
yes.
he's dead?
No, he's
But
camping.
if his spirit is here, I don't know what the new
Astral
hip
projection. Have you ever
euphemisms are.
heard of it, dude?
Astral projection. You can be alive and just...
I don't want to know anything about Will's ass, so...
Hey guys, did you miss 3 Idiots? We haven't been on for, what, 2 months? This is what you missed.
Like, that's what happens when the summer is very, very, very busy.
Also, I mean,
Wrong
that's
with
what
my
happened.
face. I never stop relaxing. I'm in constant talking
Well,
mode.
remember, because the thing will relax when your,
Background noise chills
when
out.
your background noise chills out. Do you know what doesn't chill out on your audio? Like, completely mute your mic.
Is that like your air conditioning, or what is that?
No, that's just his
I believe
background
this
noise.
This is my computer.
That's
Yeah,
oh.
it's
Okay,
his
where's
computer
noise?
monolith.
Where's noise cancelling? I need to put on noise cancelling. I need to stop staring upwards and grinning. I need to relax at some point.
It's like
I can't.
ethereal whooshing.
There he is. There you go. There you go. You stopped. Now you're frowning again.
Thank goodness. Push to talk. I could go to push.
Do you want it? Yes, but I'm afraid you may forget to push, and you'll just talk,
Oh,
and we won't know.
Definitely.
Oh, there goes Will again. He's just
He's just there. He's in its spirit. But you know what? It fits.
He does appear and disappear like a spirit, so that's
Yes,
actually pretty funny.
especially with his woo face. It's oh my goodness, Netro! Thank you for the 5 gift subs. I guess you can call them gift memberships. We just started. Wow. Odie got one. Hooray.
So some ghosts go boo, and his goes boo woo.
Well, the thing is, the channel member notification sound is zoinks. It's just Shaggy going zoinks, but it's really, really compressed. So it's like a Game Boy Advance.
Like
zoinks.
I was gonna say, so it sounds almost like a
Yeah, like it's coming out of a Game Boy. But I guess this can qualify as a little pre-show here. Also, I don't know if you two are looking at the stream, but did you see that I added a little microphone arm for us?
I do. I
Yes.
see the
It fits.
microphone
It
arm.
actually fits our theme
It's a
song
boom.
now, where it's like, there's 3 people with a mic. It has to be a
It
singular
works.
mic. It works. Also, like, I like that Max, the one with the most background noise, is the one that's under it.
Yeah, it's very realistic.
Very realistic. But what are we doing today, guys?
I don't know, what are we doing today?
I really did a 10-minute power hour with that intro.
Battle
Read
brackets.
the memo.
Yes, everyone, we are back with bracket battles. I may have had this on the screen, 1, because I made the thumbnail, and 2, I'm very proud of the thumbnail. But yes, we are returning to the roots with battle brackets. We have done brackets for movies. That is mainly what we've done. But we've never done it for characters. And if people remember, I think one of the last 3 Idiots we did before the break was a tier list on Disney villains. But a tier list is not a battle. So we are going to be battling Disney villains.
Yes.
I am very excited for this one.
And just ahead of the old spooky season.
I know, it was perfect. This would have been a good one for October, but I was impatient. But, you know,
Anytime's a good time for Disney villains.
Well, I mean, given our speed with doing battle brackets usually, it may go till October. So, who knows? Maybe the finale will be in October. But till then, so me and Max here did a little bit of vetting, because I saw some people even before in the chat be like, so does Pete count? Does this character count? Does this character count? So, I mean, Max, you helped me vet the villains. Why don't you explain our methodology?
I mean, for one, I was mostly also focused on making it come down to an extrapolation of 2. No, what's the English word for?
No, multiple works.
No, multiple would not be fine. 6 is a multiple
Factor?
of. Maybe.
I
Square. You square it up.
Yeah.
Like 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 46,
yeah, to fit in a
64,
power.
I mean.
Yes.
The power, exactly. I brought the power. And yeah, before that, it needed to be a villain, right? I mean, not just an antagonist, not just a mean dude.
It couldn't be man. I hate to disappoint you Bambi fans, but the concept of man is not on this list.
I tried to get God on the list, but
multiple
I was denied.
times. Multiple.
Fighting God.
Well, okay, just to tell you guys some of the rejected villains we had man, God, mental illness, generational trauma. It's like
Emotional damage.
no. You want to know which one was the mental illness movie? Because we went through each movie and was like, okay, is there a villain?
I could not believe that he had not gone down that rabbit hole before. Chat, do you know which Disney movie has allegedly representations of multiple mental disorders? Let's
Winnie
see
the Pooh.
if chat knows.
Well, Lauren guessed it. Yes, I didn't know that this was an entire psychology article that I looked into. But so Max was like, the villain is mental illness. And I was like, no, it's barely the heffalumps depending on how you view it. But like, point being...
And if anything, that's drugs.
Yes. Gun is best villain. Thanks, Netro. But no, there are certain things that we did not count. Our main qualifiers were they have to be their own villain standalone, no sidekicks. So, you know, no Iago, no Kronk. Then also, with the exception of one movie, everyone has only one villain. And also, mostly because I wanted to fit with the theme of my idiocy, like we did with the tier list, I didn't put any Pinocchio villains on here. They're not villains, they're just kind of assholes.
That is true. If
Like-
anything, the real villain's the coachman who gets away with trafficking kids and never gets reprimanded for it.
Well, he's not on here, so the coachman went and go and traffic the characters we didn't count to Pleasure Island. But yes, look, I'm just saying, I have to stick to the bit, and everyone got really, really not happy with me after we did the tier list, being like, how dare you not put the Pinocchio characters in high tiers? Well, you know, do your own battle brackets. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a factor of 32. We almost missed... I was going to tell Max this earlier, because we were going to do some recording, but we're going to do it later. We did a bad oversight when we made the lists. We almost forgot Maleficent.
Wait, we managed to forget her? But she
Yes!
was on the list. I'm
Well, the
sure.
thing was, okay, to pull back the curtain, how me and Max did it is that I had the official list, and because there's like the main Disney villains that they count in the franchise, like the Notorious 12. And then we had to go through and figure out the other ones from other movies that are counted as minor Disney villains. So Max copy and pasted the thing, but somehow deleted Maleficent off of it when he started making different subcategories. Look for yourself! She's not in the second part of that document! But yes, so either way, I did put her back in. You will find out how. So let me move to the bracket.
I'm saying Whale isn't a villain. Yeah, well, no, it's a natural. He's not a villain.
Entity.
He's just Monstro is like I wouldn't say a deity, but he's just a creature. He's just
not
a creature
deity,
that exists.
entity. He just
An entity
is.
that exists in the ocean. He just is. He's just very hungry. And, and by the way, no whales exist that are modeled like Monstro. Like there are whales with big mouths and there are whales with teeth, but there is none with both. You either get a big mouth with baleen, or you get a smaller mouth with teeth.
So you're
Fun
telling me
fact.
that this movie with a puppet that gets magically turned alive, a talking little cricket who is also a manifestation of a conscience, and
My point is that they're not the only cartoon that has done this trope. Whenever you see when you think of a generic whale, every time somebody designs it with like the sharp teeth and a big mouth, and I'm like, that's not how it goes. So anyway, if you guys watched Surf and Turf by Ed's World, you can tell which when I designed that whale for the gag. Shameless plug. I got to board that beat. Well, many beats, but one of them was when spoiler alert, Matt Lobster he tries to shove a baleen whale into a bucket. So
Well, there
as
you
if
go.
he's like collecting seashells. So anyway.
Yes, but you may see that there's some blank spots. It's because, like most of our list, we have preliminaries.
yes, to get
So-
to the 32.
So we have a preliminary for who goes against Yzma, who goes against Tamatoa, and who goes against Gaston. So we got some good ones. So we're gonna start with the preliminaries, and then we're gonna go how we usually go. Sound good, guys?
Yeah.
So our first battle royale, which will go against Yzma, is literally a battle royale. We have queens versus kings versus princes, and then one of them will win. Again, if you guys have any qualms about the preliminaries, these are all Max's idea.
It's true. You're welcome.
So let's start with the queens. I think we should start with the queens.
Yeah.
So we have the evil queen, the literal first Disney movie villain, versus the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. And I think it's only fair that we let our little Disney princess of our own, Lauren, start with her decision. Which one do you think tops the other? This is a hard one.
We lost her.
Oh.
Unless you meant me with the Disney princess in our group. I mean, God knows I can rock a dress.
I mean, you know what? Since it's taking a bit for her, maybe she has an internet thing. Why don't you go first? Evil
Sure.
Queen versus Queen of Hearts.
Yeah, I would say I'm afraid. No. I'm afraid. I would say that the OG one is kind of getting it. I mean, the Queen of Hearts. She has the insanity that speaks for her. She has the catchphrase. I mean, does the evil queen even have a proper catchphrase except for the mantra for what's it called, the mirror? But this is just like a magic word. But no, she doesn't have a catchphrase.
Oh, apparently Lauren's computer is glitching a bit. What? Don't worry, Lauren. Max will stall.
Oh yeah, I can ramble on. Believe me. But yeah. So yeah, Queen of Hearts. I mean, she is iconic as hell. She has a catchphrase. She is, I guess, clinically insane.
I mean,
she has an amazing, adorable little husband.
I mean, she basically has the. I mean, she's married, so I don't want to say she has the mind of a child, but she has the tantrums of a child.
But nevertheless, we are trying to find the best Disney villain. And I find it hard. I'm pretty sure that if the Queen of Hearts would not have been
there, she is
up against the Evil Queen even before the official brackets begin, I would assume that the Queen of
and there she
or
goes.
not that the Queen of Hearts would make it reasonably far. But yeah, that is one of those. When you read a good manga, when you have a tournament arc in a manga, it's always that by coincidence the two main rivals end up on complete opposite things of the bracket, so they can meet in the finale for the epic showdown. But then you have the deal breakers like My Hero Academia, where they have this kind of clash early on, so that our protagonist doesn't even make it to the final round. Spoilers. So yeah, as great as the Queen of Hearts is, if I think villainous, I Queen of Hearts, not the other queen, the Evil Queen, kind of tops it. I mean, she has fucking evil in the name.
I mean, like, those are really good points. Lauren, are you back with us in the living world?
I have no idea. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you. That's good.
Okay. I genuinely have no idea what happened, but Discord kicked me out. It froze, and it kicked me out, and so I had to go back in. So,
don't worry, you're all good now. It's not a 3 Idiot stream without a technical issue. Ain't I right, guys? But look, but yes, just to fill you in, Max picked the Evil Queen as his choice, with some very compelling, with some very compelling arguments relating to manga. So that's what you missed there.
Okay.
But Lauren, why don't you tell me? Because I'm having a hard time picking this one. Who do you think tops, the Evil Queen or the Queen of Hearts?
Well, first of all, phrasing.
I know. Also, there's dogs barking in Max's background, so it makes him bounce. So it's really funny. It's just
so he's just barking.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we'll let the Max out. Okay.
I personally think, well, on the one hand, you have a very vindictive, jealous woman on one side, and on the other side, you have one that, on the slightest inconvenience, chops off somebody's head. So,
They're both pretty nasty. Not gonna lie. Also, Chad, I made a poll for you so we could see what you think. It doesn't matter, but I want to see.
This is very confusing. Who is best queen? Who is best queen or who is best villain among queens?
Well, I mean, I only give 2 choices for best queen, and it's the 2 that we have right here. I think they could get context clues based off what we're talking about, Maximilian.
I have to think here. Well, I mean, if we're going... So are we going truly by the nasty factor, or are we going by...
villain?
Evil.
We have not really defined our criteria.
Yeah, that's why we're figuring it out in the preliminaries. To me, in my personal opinion, to be on the villain list, you have to have a great balance of great character and also evil. You know?
You know, I'm gonna have to get, when I put it into that criteria, look, I know the Evil Queen was kind of the OG, but I sit here going like, well, the Queen of Hearts has a very defined personality. She also is highly entertaining, as well as intimidating, because it's the walking on eggshells type villain, where she could lull you into a false sense of security by being, she can put on a smile and be like, oh, you're cool to hang out with, let's play croquet, kind of. But then also, she's like an aggressive croquet player and cheats and all that stuff, because, the game's rigged. But anyway. She literally has her little hedgehog do whatever she wants.
How dare!
So I'm just saying, she gets a lot done in the little screen time I can't even say it's little screen time, but compared to the Evil Queen, where I feel like I got more out of the Queen of Hearts being around. So I'm gonna go with the Queen of Hearts, personally.
Oh, no. You left me with a tiebreaker on the first thing? Okay, so... Okay. Man, this is a hard preliminary.
It is.
Like...
I'm gonna lie.
Yeah, because, like...
We're starting today with a banger.
The tough choice is that, like, the Evil Queen, like, she set a standard. Like, she's vindictive, she's elegant, she's nasty. She is willing to give up her entire beauty for the chance to poison this girl, she's a main presence in the movie. She has more personality than a finger on Snow White. So, like, that's going for her. But the Queen of Hearts, for significantly less screen time, made such a big impact. I mean, like, it's
She's genuinely funny, honestly.
Yes, the red and black Queen Victoria over here is very funny. But it's like, they're both, and she's a very immature villain, and that's not a disqualifier for me, because let's face it, Maleficent cursed a baby because she wasn't invited to a party. So, like, immature motives is not something that is negative against you. If anything, the pettiness just makes you more villainous. But they're both so good. But if I wanted to pick one that if I'm like, here is the face of evil, I think from just villainy sake, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Evil Queen. I hate to be blasé, but the classics sometimes work in the favor.
It still cracks me up that the Evil Queen never had the foresight to think, I'm gonna push this boulder over the cliff, not even thinking that maybe, I don't know, she's also a fucking frail old woman now. Like, maybe this might backfire on me.
and the chat agrees with me and Max. The Evil Queen got 58%, but the Queen of Hearts got 41%.
Yeah, I was about to say, it was a close one.
It was a close one. So here's one that may be a bit easier. The Kings. The lesser royalty. The Horned King from Black Cauldron versus King Candy from Wreck-It
Who wants
Ralph.
some candy?
Who wants some candy? Turbo-tastic. If people are wondering why I put King Candy and not Turbo, he's King Candy in more of the movie, and he honestly does more villainous shit as King Candy. So
he's manipulative as hell.
So shut up. But yes, Lauren, since you were supposed to go first in the first one, and then Discord shat on you, what's your decision for the Kings?
I mean, it's funny because as much as the Horned King is diabolical and wants like the Black Cauldron for his nefarious deeds and wants to raise an army of the undead and to take over the world, so to say, but then you have King Candy, who is a far more, I think, again, when you have a villain who is far more, like, close to reality, it makes him a more compelling and very, very fearsome villain. So when you have somebody like King Candy, who presents very well, that as much as he can be a pain in the ass, he still has these moments where you think, maybe he really is trying to think about, you know, what's the best thing for his subjects, what's the best thing for Vanellope. You know, you get lulled into this false sense of security with him. And especially in the way he presents himself. But you just know, in your gut, you feel this uneasiness, like, there is something wrong here. There's something off. And his reveal, whether you saw it coming or not, I think was one of, again, that was peak twist villain for the 2010s, because Disney was trying to ride that high after they got that. Sorry, spoiler alert to people who haven't watched Wreck-It Ralph.
Spoiler alert for what? 12.
You've had 11 years to watch it. So you know what? It's past time. Anyway, so I'm gonna go with King Candy. I think he's a very well-rounded villain. He has had enough screen time to really, you know, cement himself as a solid villain. And again, it's the misleading you. It's the trickery, and honestly, he's also has a final form. So I mean,
what he went? Are we going by Dragon Ball rules now? How many forms you get shows your power.
He gets the bug form, like the mutant bug form.
He gets his cell form.
So what do we have here? I mean, like, the evil queen has old lady as her final form. The Queen of Hearts has like manic extended version of herself. The Horned King has turning into goo, and King Candy has a giant bug monster. So I there's a point there. There is
a point. But yes, I guess I will go next because I don't want to go last again. I'm gonna go for King Candy because
yes.
Look, I love Dark Crystal more than a lot of Dark Crystal. I love Black Cauldron.
The other 80s dark fantasy.
Look, take type of lack of light adjective and an object that starts with C. But yes, I love Dark Cauldron more than a lot of people do. I think it's overrated.
Black Cauldron.
Yeah, whatever. Black Cauldron. Coffee. I like Black Cauldron more than a lot of people do. Apparently not enough to say its name properly. But like, you know, I can't help but watch that movie, Horned King included, and just be like, man, you are so much untapped potential. Because Katzenberg decided to stick his nasty little fingers in it and make it worse. Honestly, the true villain of that movie is the Snarf-like character. The dog, scruffy-looking thing.
Gurgi?
Yes, Gurgi. No one likes Gurgi.
I feel like he gets way too much hate.
No,
like,
shut up!
He was...
No! Your computer needs to glitch again. Invalid. Gurgi sucks.
Like, I feel like... Well, I mean, yes, he sucks, but I feel like at the same time, there are definitely worse characters than Gurgi. Not in that film, I'm just talking about in general.
And look, Horned King has a kill count. Probably so does King Candy. Here's the big thing about King Candy. King Candy literally goes into the metadata of his universe that he invaded to fuck with it.
And he overthrew, through coding, the monarchy, and basically placed himself as king, and being like, oh yeah, I totally rewrote history to be the new king of this place.
He gave Vanellope a disability.
He wiped everybody's memories, and that's what, to cement himself as the king. And yeah, again, gave Vanellope a disability to where she's glitching out because of what he did.
And the thing is, she doesn't lose that disability when he gets defeated. She has it forever. Like, it's like winning the race, but you still have a limp for the rest of your life. Like, dead ass, just saying. King Candy's a monster. Horned King just sucks up some green gas into his mouth and wants to kidnap a pig. Like,
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have as. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't. He had more screen time available to him, and yet, he didn't make as much of an impact because there was not enough time devoted to his character.
I'm sorry, I can't put Skeletor hunting for Charlotte's Web over King Candy. But that's my Max, do you have any words about these two? I know that the choice has been made, but
I mean, given that I haven't even watched the Black Cauldron, so and I have to agree that King Candy, with his deception and everything, yeah, solid points. I don't think I have a speech at the ready to flip either of you. So, yeah, I guess King Candy.
Ladies and gentlemen, your prom king and queen. Imagine this couple.
They would just try to like oust each other. That's they would get crowned, but then either one of them would try to take both crowns for themselves. So
I'm actually fascinated how close the poll was for King Candy and Horned King.
Oh yeah.
The chat sees something we do not. But now
King Candy still rules.
What is an heir without a spare? Because I could say these are the princes, but if anything, they're the spares.
They are.
So we have Scar, who was the brother of the king. Hans, the 13th in line. And Prince John. Now, I may be overstepping, but can I give what I think our impressions are about this competition?
Sure.
Anyway.
I said sure.
No. Look at my screen. I just moved.
I was seeing it on a delay. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. I just moved Prince John completely off screen.
What?
I mean, he does throw temper tantrums. I mean, he's fun, but he's also like, yeah, he throws a lot of just temper tantrums, and that seems to be his personality.
Look,
if anything, the Sheriff of Nottingham's a bigger threat, and that's only because he's out in the.
Wait till we get to
going to village
one
to
of the other
village. So,
preliminaries. But I'm just saying, Prince John is fun, but when you put him against these two, it feels unfair. But okay, I get to go first this time. Yay! So
go ahead.
My vote may be a bit controversial.
Go ahead.
I would say
I'll hear
of the three, I think Hans is the most villainous.
Oh.
Now follow me on this.
I'm following.
Prince John is Prince John. I don't need to make any arguments about why I'm not picking the last to be picked at dodgeball of royalty. Scar is a very threatening villain. I mean, he has the kill count of killing his brother and everything, good old what is Lion King as Shakespearean from? Othello? Hamlet. Yeah, Hamlet style. But the problem with Scar is that he loses steam badly near the end of the movie. And this is a criticism of the movie in general, is that a lot of things just kind of peter out at the end of Lion King. Like, the movie forgets it's a musical, like two-thirds of the way in. And then, like, the big thing is just Scar takes over, and he's not a good ruler, doesn't seem to enjoy ruling. All of his subjects kind of hate him, and he just kind of lazes about. Like, it doesn't seem... It really feels like the SpongeBob meme of, I don't know, I didn't think I would get this far.
Yeah.
Like, I can give it to Hans until, like, the very, very end. And that was mostly because of Elsa and Anna's. That wasn't them defeating him, really. It was Elsa and Anna defeating the schism between them. Hans got really close to full-on winning, and as we've seen with him taking care of the citizens of Arendelle and stuff, he knows how to be manipulative to seem like a good, benevolent leader. Because here's the thing. If Anna and Elsa just kind of died, you know, and got imprisoned and everything, the citizens of Arendelle wouldn't think otherwise. It would be like, here's the man who's given us blankets and warmth during this blizzard caused by our former queen. I think that, like, how much he does behind closed doors and how much he can just put on the mask of a good person is terrifying.
Well,
Like-
yeah, again, it comes back to the King Candy. Well, actually, not even the King Candy. Yeah, I guess the King Candy aspect again of having somebody who's like a villain that is believable, right? You have somebody who's like more rooted in the behaviors of reality that makes them more terrifying, and that includes like Hans pulling the manipulation and the crocodile tears, the whole thing to fool everyone, right? So, no, totally hear you on that.
Yeah, like, I know that a lot of people have gone to gain a disdain of Hans because of the thing of, like, wait, why was he acting a certain way, you know,
And nobody was looking.
in universe for the twist. We've all seen the film theories and everything, right? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I understand that. However, if we are just going by the character in universe and their impact, I think that he is scarily good as a villain. And we know that he would probably not, if it wasn't for Anna and Elsa reconciling, he would have just gotten away with it. He didn't need to be thrown over a cliff like Scar, who already was hated and would be eaten by hyenas at the first chance. Like, the worst Hans got was now he has to scoop up horse shit. That is canonical. That's his job now. He didn't die.
Well, it's his punishment.
It is his punishment. But point being, that's my argument why I think Hans should be the spare to win.
I'm gonna respond to a comment in the chat here saying Hans started the villain to trick villain. No. King Candy started the twist villain.
At least
We
for
didn't-
Disney films.
We just
At least for
talked
the
about
Disney.
King
At least for
Candy.
Disney. Yeah, we literally just talked. That's why I said every other movie after that, where they had a twist villain in the 2010s, they were trying to chase the high that they got from making King Candy. So,
Yeah. And also,
Yeah.
just to close off, how many villains can you say has a love song as their villain song?
yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's
And that's
my
what I
pick.
think, yeah, with like Love is an Open Door, and especially, I don't know, it feels like it's a knife twist even deeper whenever I've heard, because I remember they close out the show, I think, when they had the Hyperion version of the Frozen musical. If I remember, they closed on Love is an Open Door, and I'm like going, did you not pay attention to your own source material? Why are you closing on this song?
Exactly. But okay, Max, who do you think should be the one to take the spare title?
You see, Prince John is pretty insignificant, so let's move on to Scar.
Uh-huh. Is the
No,
furry gonna pick the furry character?
Oh, obviously. I grant the thing that Hans was doing a pretty neat twist villain, even so he did this in a cheating way. So since we just talked about King Candy, who even before the twist got revealed, you had the uncanny feeling that something was off about him. With Hans, he was like playing the good guy straight until the moment he wasn't. So, but we are not just looking for the best twist villain. We're looking for the best villain, like villainous personality, villainous aura. Like we are talking about how Hans is so disturbing in his perceptiveness, or in his deceptiveness. I mean, but yet. What is his villainous presentation? He is like, up until the moment where he is ready to not kiss Anna, and is like, whatever love you. Watch me taking out those fire. It's as a straight up villain, as a dropping the facade, dropping the act, he was just a weird douche. Like, he was so full of himself. Like, Jesus, what does he? I believe then he gets to swing his sword 2 times on the ice. But that's it. There is
he
no
imprisoned
villainous
Elsa
presence.
too.
Yeah, but even that he did still under the pretense of no, I'm doing this to protect the people. I'm totally a good guy still. So
yeah, but that's what we call mind games, because he already knows that Elsa probably feels like guilty and mentally damaged, and he's just like, no, you caused this, you did it.
On the other hand, we have Jeremy fucking Irons being the bad uncle, being a nasty presence, being this like, those hyenas I have to work with. His villain song, the twist even on song level that love is a open door technically is a villain song, not just a messed up song about 2 kiddos who don't have a grasp on realistic love. No, I mean, here we have the Be Prepared song, we have his general presence, his presentation, how he keeps lurking in the shadows with glowing eyes throughout the entire movie. He doesn't put on an act. Even when he's pretending to be a good guy, he's a sleazy bad guy. And yeah, he's a literal Shakespearean villain. Hans can only dream of it, even though he has the outfit. So yeah, that's why my vote goes to Scar.
Can I give a quick shout out to whomever voted that caused a 6% on Prince John in the poll? You guys are the real rebels. I respect you. But okay, Lauren, you've heard 2 very good arguments, but you are the decider here.
Yeah. So,
who gets
the way I'm weighing it is going on the one hand, once again, you have Prince Hans, who's very good at playing the long game of manipulation, up until he's basically unveiled, and then he goes, mustache twirling villain, like, the facade is gone.
It was me,
but
Dio.
then on, yeah, but on the other hand, hyena Nazis.
I mean, I guess.
And the fact that Hans, the fact that Hans never tried to also kill his other brothers, I mean, as far as we know, he still has his 12 older brothers, still in living, and they're all pissed at him whenever, when they find out about what he tried to do in Arendelle. But then you have Scar, who literally does succeed in killing his brother to take the throne. And darn near killing his nephew for it too, if anything, just scaring him off enough and giving him, giving him PTSD, if anything, and extreme guilt. So I don't know, man. I mean, yes, he does. I do agree that Scar peters out in terms of, like, once he gets what he wants, it's kind of like, if anything, I kind of like, yeah, he does get whiny and stuff like that, but I kind of like that that's part of his character, because you can already tell he's the younger brother that doesn't get what he wants until he finally does get what he's always wanted, but he has never been prepared for it because he thinks, oh, this is the idea that I have in my head for what I want. He's in love with the idea of being king. He's in love with the idea of what he wants, and so once he gets it, he doesn't realize what he has to do to maintain what he wants. And so he just throws a little harumph hissy fit, like a little sibling would.
Put Sazu in a little cage.
Yeah, and so, but he also, at the same time, towards the end, he still doesn't lose his ways of playing dirty. Like, he literally will play, the whole, like, you wouldn't kill your uncle, right? You wouldn't do that. And then it's like, I'm just a little guy. It's my birthday. It's a little birthday boy.
I'm a little birthday boy.
And then he throws, a smoldering ash into somebody's face and goes, ha ha! So, but...
I'm sorry, I'm imagining Scar with a little birthday happy. Like, come on, a little birthday
I kind of need to draw this now. This is me.
Just a little man. I'm a little malnourished man. See my ribs? You can play the xylophone on them. Do the hula, this, but with Jeremy Irons' voice. It just.
But yeah, going back to Hans though, I think especially like it got me at first, his character, especially when you think again, it's another villain that lulls you into the false sense of security. The problem is compared to King Candy, at the very least, even if whether you anticipate it or not, they build up to the twist really well for his character. Because you think, that my gut was telling me something was off and now I figured it out. Versus Hans, I've been playing so good that people literally thought I was good. And I think that might have also been a part of the writing problems for that movie. Because then it started all the theories of going, well, seemed so good. Then how did he turn bad? Maybe the trolls are the ones that converted his mind all of a sudden and made him evil. And I'm like going, oh my god, just so they could get Anna and Kristoff together. Which, I mean, again, not an entirely implausible theory, because the trolls were kind of awful.
Oh, we forgot to put the trolls on the villain list.
We're not putting the trolls on the list.
Why not? They're evil forces. They're more villainous than Hans.
I'm like, they're interpreted more as like, you caused these problems. Not that they're evil.
Right.
They're just awful. And so I still go for the vote of Scar.
Wait, before you finalize, before you hit that button, can I make one point?
Go ahead.
How fucking evil is it that Hans was fully prepared to just be married and fake love to Anna or Elsa for probably the rest of their lives? To me, that kind of emotional manipulation is fucking evil.
Well, the thing is, he intended on killing both of them. He intended on killing both of them, honey. That was not for the rest of their lives. It was the rest of her life, which would be cut short.
I am just saying, what if Anna never got sick? I'm just saying, he would have been the king consort, and he probably would have been around long enough to get what he wants, and then when
he probably would have tried to poison her. He would have tried to poison her. 100%.
Personally, I think making
complete regicide.
Personally, I'm just saying, I think making anyone fall in love with you for an ulterior motive like that is fucking gross. And I think that is more. I think that's more evil than Mr. Birthday Catman. But your vote is for Scar, and I will accept it. And the chat agrees. And Prince John, thank you for coming. You can get your residual in the mail.
Here's your goodie bag now, Lee.
So
now we need to pick which royal rules them all. And luckily, we've talked about them all pretty thoroughly, so I guess we could pick and just see which one tops. Max, why don't you go first?
I
You
just
got
realized
King Candy,
we have
Evil Queen, and Scar.
I know. I just realized a problem here.
They're all great.
No, that too. But I kind of made a very strong case for Scar. Lauren made a very strong case for King Candy, and you made a strong case for the Evil Queen. I hope we are not at an impasse here.
Well, that's why I've been making the chat vote. If we all pick one character, we have the chat to be the ultimate breaker. So,
do I think? Okay, here's the thing that I have to already admit. When we earlier had the discussion about King Candy, and even after hearing Lauren's original case for the Evil Queen, Prince John is back, I see.
What are you talking about? No,
won't leave.
He's not there. What are you talking about?
Is he the final villain when we had the big clash up when we had the final round? Then a secret challenger appears. Prince John is back.
Prince John just keeps appearing.
Like he keeps walking back into the party. Like, my God, just go
away.
This
is why Sir Hiss doesn't call you anymore.
Anyway, so I was saying, Lauren's case for the Queen of Hearts already made me a little bit like less sure in my vote for the Evil Queen. all iconicness aside. So
Sorry.
I would.
Prince John with the steel chair. Sorry, continue. Sorry, I gotta stop
Wait,
looking at
what?
the chat. Oh, Denim said
chat.
Prince John with a chair. It's the wrestling
Yeah,
thing where it's
Prince
like
John
a
comes
fucking.
in with the chair.
Prince John comes in with the steel chair to hit someone over the head. Oh god, I gotta stop looking at the chat when people are making serious arguments. Anyways, continue, Max.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, I at this point I'm basically kind of already picking King Candy over the Evil Queen.
Okay.
Now it's for me a little bit of like King Candy versus Scar. Scar is kind of like, I grew up with Scar. Scar is, for all the reasons that I just named, just a very villainous villain. While, of course, King Candy is not perceptive, deceptive one. A very convincing one. No, but I stick to my guns. I'm furry trash over here. I stick with Scar. My vote goes to Scar.
Alrighty. Lauren, why don't you go next?
I'm gonna go with, you know what? It's like, again, yeah, we're at like this whole thing of where they're all very valid villains in this triad. But I'm gonna actually go for, I mean, comparatively, yes, you have the Evil Queen and you have Scar. Both, well, I mean, it's really rather funny because Evil Queen really doesn't get what she wants. She thinks she does, but she really doesn't. And then she dies at the end because she doesn't think ahead enough. And then you got Scar, who does get what he wants, but he fails in really maintaining it. And then you get King Candy, who completely takes over an entire world, rewrites the code so that everybody forgets who was the original, ruler. Gives the original ruler, the princess, a disability, and he succeeds in doing this for God knows how long, until he is overthrown.
And his stuff has lasting effects if you go by Penelope still having to glitch in the second movie.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with King Candy. Honestly, like, he succeeded for far longer than the other two did in their goals.
Don't look at me
so
like
that's what I'm
that.
saying.
My prediction is coming true. So, Key, who are you voting for?
Hold on, I forgot to tag my server that we were live.
Whoops.
There we go. Anyways, so, yes, me. Hi.
Yes. Yeah.
So, currently, what we have is we have one vote for Scar from Furry Trash Man.
Yeah.
And one vote for King Candy from the Disney Princess.
Hee.
Okay, so this means that I only have one option. Okay, so in defense of Prince John...
He comes into the center of the room like,
he is the embodiment of nepotism. As most royals are, but his is even worse because his dad isn't even dead yet. No. Okay, go back over there with your Legos. Anyways, so my actual vote.
I mean, technically, isn't it his brother? It's his brother, King Richard.
I haven't watched Robin Hood in like a decade, Lauren.
It's his brother, King Richard, who went away for the Crusades.
It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
brother
Prince John
Key.
took
Oh
over.
wait, so in defense, so for Prince John, his family is involved with the Crusades, which when you actually look into the history of that is really, really, really not good.
Yeah.
So there's some Christianity in there, so makes him like at least 11 points more evil.
Well,
no.
I mean, again, this is based on historical.
We're gonna go back to the
Also,
Christianity.
yeah, the
evil
stories
thing
of Robin
later.
Hood are based on a real point in time. So
Yes. Anyways, go back to your Legos, Prince John. My vote. Here's the thing. I am not going to vote for the Evil Queen because,
Okay.
while I think the Evil Queen is
we can't give Shed this much power.
No, because, well, first of all, you would have won. While I love the Evil Queen, I think she's super iconic. To me, she's the best part, like, character and narrative-wise of the movie. I know there's people who love those 7 dwarfs to bits. They all right. But the
Gotta
evil
love
queen-
those grumpy t-shirts and mugs.
Gotta love those,
That, like, literally every dad ever wears to the parks.
God, what do they call Dopey? Yeah, the Dopey
Yeah.
one, which I don't know how okay he is in modern times. But yes. So while I love
He's just
her,
a little guy. He's just a friend.
while I love her, and I think her design, out of the three, I think her design is the best. If we're going by pure aesthetics, like look,
Oh,
at
yeah,
her.
no, she's got
She's
grit.
a presence. But here's the thing. This isn't her fault. But she was the first. Which means she was a baseline. She walked
Yeah.
so that these two could run and lick
Yeah.
themselves. So, like, you know.
And Prince John could fall on his face.
And Prince John could suck his thumb. That you know.
Mommy.
Maybe that's why I don't like Prince John so much. I hate the thumb sucking thing. No one over the age of 2 should suck their thumb. If not, then something's wrong with you. And we should start putting hot sauce on your thumbs. Anyways, that's what happened with me. I turned out fine.
And now you are, like, addicted to spicy food. It turned
Yeah.
out fine.
Well, we don't need to unpack all that. But yes, it's between King Candy and Scar, honestly. And here's the thing. People may think that I don't like Scar because I was rooting so hard for Hans. No, I love Scar. Be Prepared is one of my favorite Disney villain songs. He has a presence. Jeremy Irons plays him so well. Jim Cummings does his singing so well. There's a reason he is one of the main 12, right? I love it. However, I do still have those gripes with his movie in general. Because that's the thing. I love Lion King. I don't love Lion King as much as other Disney fans do. I think the Renaissance peaked with Aladdin if you're going to go by the 4 big movies of the Renaissance. You know, being Little Mermaid to Lion King. I think Aladdin was the peak. But, we're not talking about Aladdin yet. I think he's a very solid villain, and he's probably my second favorite character in the entire movie. Timon is my favorite, if anyone was wondering. To the shock of absolutely no one.
The sassy skinny character is your favorite? Say it.
Sassy skinny Nathan Lane? Wow. No. While he's solid, I do think his faltering at the end kind of ruined it for me. I don't think his villainous breakdown was as strong as King Candy's was, because King Candy does have a villainous breakdown where he takes off the mask, right? And I think with
literally,
that and
he
Turbo,
glitches out of his mask.
and just how parasitic he truly is, to the point that he becomes a bug that is basically a parasite, because it can affect other games. Someone talked to the video game coders in that universe of how the fuck they did that. But, like, I just think King Candy has that perfect mix of deceptive and putting on the mask like Hans, but still having that kind of natural nastiness that Scar has. And that Scar and the Evil Queen has. I think he's just a great culmination of everything. He has traits of all of these 3. So yeah. Sorry, chat. Sorry, Max. As much as I'm a furry, I'm gonna have to have some candy.
Again, cannibalism.
So that means that going against Yzma in the bracket. Hold on, I gotta grab the thing to zoom out. Where's my Photoshop? There you are. Oh, for fuck's sake, come on. Oh, I had it hidden. There we go. That means going against Yzma in the actual bracket is King Candy. That's gonna be an interesting battle.
And 1 hour in, we have concluded our first preliminary.
We'll be faster with the We'll be faster with the other ones, I think.
How much time did we have again?
Lauren, how much time did we have?
I mean, we can go for however long, as long as I'm over by like 1, I suppose.
Oh, okay. Then we have a whole other hour. So then I thought we were going to have. Okay, then we good. We good, G. All right. So that was that. Now, our next bracket would be the one going against Gaston over here on the right. Now, I thought, who could fit with Gaston? Who could possibly compete with Gaston? And who else?
No one
but
competes
gods.
like Gaston.
But literal gods.
That's Maleficent.
And before people are like, Maleficent's not a god, she is regarded as the mistress and lord of evil. That is close enough for me.
Plus, Max forgot her completely in the chart, so we needed to squeeze her in somewhere.
And you know what? It kind of works with so many things, because I'm pretty sure 2 of the 3 other characters on this screen have flirted with Maleficent at some point.
Yeah, thanks, House of Mouse.
Yeah, because I think
and Kingdom Hearts.
I think these 2 flirted in House of Mouse with him going, "Love your work," and this one literally dressed up as Mickey Mouse to talk to her. So I love House of Mouse.
And actually, it's funny because if I remember, that wasn't even because including Kingdom Hearts interactions. Yeah, that wasn't the first time he's like talked with her too.
Yeah,
I love seeing Maleficent and Hades interact. Honestly,
I love that, but that's why I had them on separate sides. Can't have the lovebirds interacting. So we have Chernabog from Fantasia, the devil,
literally Satan,
fighting against Maleficent, the Lord-S of evil. And then we have Oogie Boogie, basically one of the Lords of Halloween, I would say. He's not the Pumpkin King, but like
he's
can't
like
argue.
He's like a competitor spirit to the
Exactly.
Pumpkin King.
And well, Drain My Sack, great YouTube name. We're doing battle brackets on Disney villains. Amazing name.
Which is even funnier when we're talking about literally a sack of bugs right now.
I really hope you don't comment on serious videos, because I would love someone to be like, "Oh, here's my like announcement of me getting a new puppy. Oh, thank you for the kind words, Drain My Sack." Anyways, yes, and competing with Hades, competing with Oogie Boogie, we have Hades, the literal king of the underworld. Laura of the Underworld, how you doing?
Someone to care for, to be there for. I have James
Hades. But yeah, so these are going to be interesting choices. So I say we start with the devil and Maleficent.
Who has the better horns?
I mean, oh yeah, they're both horned. Isn't that great? They're both horny.
Where's the horned king when you need him?
I was gonna say,
I didn't even think of that.
We could have made that a preliminary. Horned people.
Yeah. Horny preliminary.
We could have named the preliminary horny people. Great job, Max.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know what? Because of that, I'm gonna start this. You thought I was gonna say
Battle
you.
Royale. We had a literal battle royale.
All right, so Chernabog versus Maleficent. Now, I know it's going to be weird to say that I think Maleficent is better than the devil. But I think Maleficent is better than the devil.
I mean, it's a fair argument here.
Why, you may ask. Look, Chernabog is fantastic, iconic. I mean, he literally crushes demons within his palms. The only thing to bring him down is the sound of the Lord.
Ignore the birds in the background.
And it's fine. That's the sound of the Lord I was talking about.
Or is it Maleficent's crow making itself known?
Yeah.
Hi!
Yeah, what was it? Diablo?
Yes. Fitting. But look, as much as Chernabog is like such a Chernabog a villain, he was just a dude having a fun party with his bros. At the end of the day, anything could be a fun party with your bros if you word it like that. But look, I'm just saying.
Quick shout out to Flamix Dev. Hi. Yes.
Hello. Thank you for paying $10 to say that.
I mean, you know what? To be fair, yeah, Flamix is a Kung Fu Panda fan. So.
Oh. Awesome.
So they're new to this stream, so welcome.
Welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. I hope my take on Chernabog's not going to make you leave. But yes, as iconic as Chernabog is, and as iconic as, you know, his segment of Fantasia is, what else is there? Like,
What else is there?
what else is there? He just kind of don't bring Swan Princess into this house. You know my feelings. Don't bring that to the Thanksgiving table, woman. But no, she, he crushes demons in his hand. He is a personification of evil, the lack of good, but he doesn't do anything with it. He stays fairly within his realms. Meanwhile, Maleficent got jilted to go to a baby shower, basically. And it's like, well, fuck you. This kid's gonna die. And I'm gonna make you wait. Like, and also, can you, people don't mention this. Maleficent caused so much inconvenience for the entire kingdom after this because they burned all their spinning wheels. How did they make clothes? Like, that's...
Yeah, I kind of was thinking about that too.
Like, that affected more than just Aurora.
Screw our textile industry.
Yeah, that just ruined an entire industry of people. So, yeah, and also, Maleficent does stuff with her evil, and, and if you go by iconicness, yeah, Chernabog's iconic, but who's fighting Mickey at the end of Phantasmic? I don't think it's Chernabog. I don't think it's the devil. I think it's the giant dragon that sometimes catches fire.
The one that definitely caught fire and is never coming back.
Exactly.
Shout out to Murphy, sorry.
Point being, I think when I think evil, I think Maleficent. When I think devil, I think of Chernabog. And sometimes the devil isn't all that bad. I've been hearing great things about the temple for Satan. But yes.
True that.
But yes, my vote's for Maleficent. Disney princess?
Okay. Well, first of all, yes, I'm gonna go very quickly. Gonna second my vote for Maleficent. We don't get enough time with Chernabog. Yes, he makes a fantastic presence in the very little screen time he has. However, it is so little that it is within one song, within one part of a segment, really, of Fantasia.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Maleficent had more screen time to establish her personality, her character, her ambitions, her pettiness, which honestly, I can't even be mad at that level of petty. I'm like, that's just impressive. And on top of that, yeah, she turns into a dragon. That is like the coolest thing that you can do as a villain, if you could just turn into a dragon. Granted, she doesn't last very long as a dragon, but you know what? I give her credit.
Good enough to make a Lego statue of.
Yeah, and I will say, though, what's really funny is that this is not a testament against her character, as it is just going, you ever, like, have henchmen that are just so freaking dumb, they spend 16 years looking for a baby, and she didn't bother checking once to see, like, hey, how's it going? And they go, oh yeah, we're still looking for that baby. Go, what do you mean baby? Like,
no wonder her and Hades connect.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, they both had to deal with babies. Babies is part of a prophecy. That's actually pretty funny. Yeah. So they relate. But yeah, so I'm still going. Yeah, I'm still going with Maleficent. She's definitely the stronger villain, more established villain, for good reason. Yeah. She's awesome.
I'm gonna shout out Fidel in the chat for saying he's just standing there menacingly. That's just Chernabog in a nutshell. That
describes it very well, yeah.
But Max, are you on the Maleficent train, or are you?
Oh, absolutely. I was really hoping for Lauren to vote for Chernabog because I recall from the tier list that she had a very, very, very strong plaidoyer in his favor, but so that we can build up a little bit of tension. But no, Maleficent.
Wait, do you have any other words that we haven't said? Or
is Chernabog on the phone?
No, I think this pic.
Is he dropping the soap in prison?
No, first of all, no, he's not ozzing his soap. No, I think the PNG is from House of Mouse. So I think he is just holding a drink glass.
That's probably it.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is because also the
Because
design is hella
he's this big guy
simplified,
that
too.
sits at a tiny little table with
Yeah.
tiny little cups.
He looks like he's on his pink phone texting with somebody. Oh, I tell you, like, Minnie's dress is like so last season.
OMG Hades. Maleficent is so cute. But yes, so Maleficent, no argument. Do you have anything you want to say about Maleficent before we go to the next one, or have we already said our enough pieces about
Dwagon.
Dwagon?
Dragon. No, here's the thing. I had the VHS for Fantasia, as my parents got all the good old VHS of Disney movies back before DVD. Later they got the other one for DVD now that they talk about it. But yeah, so I grew up with it, and I saw Chernabog a few times, but even as a child, he never impressed me to that degree. So, while Maleficent always had a presence, even when I could barely comprehend what was happening in the movie, because Baby Max was, well, still very baby, but still, she was like,
Yay.
exactly, she was recognizable, has a presence.
A bird?
She has a bird.
Yeah, and it is more than just a bro who parties. So she has a plan, she has minions, she has a final form, she has all the good shit. And style, she has style.
She has
look
style.
at her
I mean, look at her.
Yeah.
And
Look at her.
I mean, and not connected to my choice at all. Her character brought one of the best Disney live-action, quote-unquote, remakes. The Maleficent movie is genuinely a really good movie.
Before they just turned it into a cheap remake machine. There was actually ideas going into it.
Yeah, there was heart. But, yes, anyways, so, we got, who's gonna fight against Maleficent? We have Oogie Boogie, and we have Hades, god of the Underworld. How are ya? Max, you haven't gone first in a bit. Why don't you, take a stab?
Surprisingly easy. Hades is one of my favorite Disney villains. He is a very atypical villain. He has not really a villainous aura because he is the villain in a comedy. Let's be honest. While most Disney movies strive a little bit for a certain level of epic, of adventure, with a lot of comic relief, don't get me wrong. But Hercules is comedy almost all the way. You have some moments in between, like when the Hydra appears, and it's a little bit like there's a little bit of seriousness, but they manage to turn this very quickly into once again a funny moment. And up until the end, when shit gets real for real, it's a comedy all the way, and therefore even the villain, the main antagonist, is also funny. And they found a great way to make him iconic in his appearance, to still, even in the context of being a funny character in a comedy, he still had a certain level of menacingness to him. And on the other hand, Oogie Boogie, also, I believe with Oogie Boogie, what holds him back is his lack of presence, and he has this fantastic over-the-top musical number on the roulette table.
With the casino theme and everything.
Yeah, but he is more a showstopper. He's not a villain for me. He's a showstopper. The villain of Nightmare Before Christmas is Jack himself, because Jesus. While Hades,
the villain of Nightmare Before Christmas is a midlife crisis.
Yeah, basically. So, Hades, I just love him. He's not typically villain, but God, I love his character, and he still pulls off the villain act.
Oh, look, Eddie agrees with you. Oogie Boogie isn't the villain of Nightmare Before Christmas. Jack Skellington is. Oogie is only there to be someone worse than him.
Yeah. Saying, like, you know what? It could be a lot worse. It could be Oogie. But it's like,
be
but
a
at the same
sack
time,
of bugs.
Yeah.
But Eddie's a good man. Eddie knows what's up.
Yes, Eddie knows what's up. So, if you don't mind, Lauren, I would like to go next.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm going to be the counterculture movement and root for Team Oogie. So, here's the thing. You say that Oogie Boogie has a lack of presence and that is his downfall. Au contraire, mon frere. I think that Boogie being kind of like this omnipresent threat for like a lot of the movie is what makes him so creepy and good as a villain. Cause you know, there's a lot of mentions of him. I mean, like, I personally believe he's the one that says, "I am the shadow of the moon at night."
Oh yeah, he is. He's in the opening song.
And you know, you have this like cult of children who's like will do anything for Oogie Boogie to please him, including kidnapping the Santa Claus. You know, which is terrifying that like there's a little cult of personality around him. And yeah, he is something worse than Jack. He is the worst parts of Halloween. He is the people who use the season to do fucked up shit and use spooky season as a justification. This man adopts black cats from shelters and does not take care of them. You know, like, this is that type of person. Also, he's made out of bugs. And that's, design-wise, I think Oogie Boogie is a better design than Hades. Hands down, he is a terrifying concept of a design. Like, him being this, like, nebulous sack that is just a hive mind collective of creepy crawlies and just can be peeled off at any moment. And then his bright green form with the casino, and he's a gambling man and everything. Like, he's this hedonistic...
Just a man and his addiction.
He's this hedonistic personification of just terrible things. And I love that. He's disgusting. And I love that disgustingness. And he almost killed Christmas.
He's
and not in the metaphorical way like Jack did. He was just gonna kill Santa.
That's why a good way to describe him, again, it's like going that he wasn't the villain. He was just the option that was worse than Jack. Because Jack already kidnapped Santa Claus. He already pretty much did that. Or at least replaced him. And then he's like, okay, kids, you better do what you're told and go take him back now. Take him back to Christmas Town. And they're like, no. So we're going to take him back to Oogie Boogie, who's going to eat him. I'm like going, that it shows you, again, he did the deed first, but they are the ones that go, we'll go one step further. And they go, no. They're the ones that if Jack was far more unhinged, unbridled, and more sinister and diabolical, really. So he's the more extreme.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if Jack is World War I, Oogie Boogie is World War V. He is so bad that they skipped 3 and 4. So that, you know, I hope that was a good enough argument just so we could have some tension with this tiebreaker. Go ahead, Lauren.
Okay, funny enough, I'm sitting here going, I love the heck out of Hades, which is, I know, is a funny thing to say, haha, Underworld. But at the end of the day, he may be a villain in this art incarnation. It's funny because, again, if you go by Greek, by Greek mythology, he is literally just a god he's not bad. He's just given a horrible job. And they kind of reflect that in the movie as well. But he does have, again, his more like jaded, sinister side. Especially when he's like, I want to be the top dog because my brother is, and I want what he has, blah, blah, blah. And so, but he is, at the end of the day, still, he treats everything as a business, so he makes deals. And he follows through on the deals. Like, he'll make a deal even if he knows that he's going to try and slide his way out of it. He still tries to do things like a business. That's kind of his approach. But then you have Oogie Boogie, who is nothing to his word. He is a creature, that's what he is. He is truly a creature. A miscellaneous cluster of creatures that only have the ambition to destroy and consume and gamble. So, which it's like he's the one. He's the several steps further than what Jack did, and while he doesn't have enough as much screen time as like Hades gets to cement him, he still is kind of, again, yeah, he's kind of alluded to, he's hinted at, he's kind of a shadow, again, the shadow on the moon, he's kind of like hinted at, he's talked about ominously, like, don't tell Oogie Boogie about this, like, oh god, there's this character we haven't seen yet, but we don't know what he looks like yet. So there is a whole different aura to his character that I go, as much as I love Hades and I love how he, you know, I just, again, he's sassy and he's just I don't know. I just love, again, I'm a Hades stan for Hercules and stuff like that because I love Megara too. But anyway, but at the same time, Oogie Boogie is by far a more diabolical creature that fits more of the villain label than Hades, I would say, does. Because Hades, again, at the end of the day, he's kind of like he's like a skeevy businessman. He will still make the deals though. And he's going like, you make this deal, see if you fall through with it, and I'll promise you that, you know, we do this. So he's a man of his word. Oogie is not. So I'm gonna actually go for the vote of Oogie, which is completely opposite to, you know, again, I love Hades so much that I go,
I can't believe that
I'm sorry,
worked.
man.
I can't believe that worked.
That worked. Oh, well then.
I thought that I was just making a counterculture thing for tension because we've been agreeing too much.
I mean, you can still switch your mind and
I stick to my bit.
Well,
and you know what? This makes it interesting. This is good. This is interesting. We actually picked the one character who does not simp Maleficent in canon.
That makes it.
So this will be easy for. So let's just make it easy for her to destroy him.
Yes. So I guess yeah. Let me make the poll in the chat. Top god, Maleficent. Yeah, entity. I'll put entity.
That's our word of the day, entity.
That was the special word. Yeah. Oh, that's fitting that I made
Shout out to Paul Rubens.
Pee-wee reference with Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, exactly. Because fun fact for those who don't know, he played Locke. Was it Locke? Yes.
It was Locke, the one with the devil mask.
Because Shock was the witch and Beryl was the little skull, little skeleton.
All right, so here's our poll. All right, so I'm gonna go first. What?
Get him out of here! He keeps sneaking back into this party.
I don't know who you're talking about, dude. You're going crazy. Anyways, so look, I hyped big game for both of these characters.
Yeah.
But I think when you have these two together, I'm just thinking, what is like the legacy of them? I think that's a big thing with it, right? And like Oogie and Maleficent both have legacies within media culture. I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas is one of the most loved movies of all time, especially for Halloween. But Maleficent is a character that I think exceeds the acclaim the movie she's in, because I hear very middling opinions about Sleeping Beauty as a movie, but I hear nothing but good opinions about Maleficent.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's already a big achievement, because Oogie Boogie is increased, like, in favor in conjunction with what he's in, with what he does in the movie as well. Meanwhile, Maleficent, just her presence is enough, you know? So I think I'm gonna go with Maleficent. I already said so much praising her, but I think she just is more, she's a, you know, Oogie is a god, but Maleficent's a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's my opinion. All right, Princess, what do you pick?
I also second Maleficent, not just purely for the desire to see her roast this bag of bugs to a crisp, but again, she is, while they are both they both have their peak villain vibes. Maleficent is, first of all, she's not afraid to get her own hands dirty. Oogie Boogie basically has helpers. He has the kids to go do his bidding for him. Like, bring stuff back to me, bring my Grubhub back home. And, and so, I mean, that's literally, they bring him his food, he eats it, he sits in his basement, he eats it, and he throws the bag out for them. Like, that's basically what he does. Whereas Maleficent will literally put the situation into her own hands and go, fine, if you guys aren't gonna do it right, I'm gonna frickin' do it myself. And, enter Dragon Era. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, so I mean, yeah, how could you go wrong with Maleficent? Peak queen, mistress of all evil energy.
Exactly. Max, are you in the counterculture wagon, or are
No.
You're already heartbroken that Hades doesn't get to.
Exactly. Maleficent exacts my revenge on Oogie Boogie. She pulls the loose thread and lets all the who let the bugs out? Who? Maleficent.
I'm making them kiss.
Oh, those two. Yeah, okay.
She already has her lips pursed too, so it just looks like a nice kiss on the cheek. But yes, Maleficent.
He's like, kick their asses, baby.
Hey, and Maleficent won the poll with 69%. Nice.
Nice.
I mean,
Who is the 7%?
Everybody give a nice in the chat.
7% that votes for Prince John? Who are you mad lads? But yes, going against Gaston. Ooh, that's actually going to be a fun matchup. Gaston versus Maleficent.
Oh my god.
That is.
In the far future.
Yes, in the far
Very
future.
Far future.
All right, and we have our final one to go against Tamatoa. Now, I'll be real here. I couldn't exactly find a good way to integrate this next one to Tamatoa.
Mm-hmm.
So all cops are bastards, but we're gonna pick out which one's the biggest.
Hey.
So this one may be the quickest one.
Yeah.
Lauren, would you like to start? We got Gantu from Lilo and Stitch, Sheriff of Nottingham, and this guy on the top. I don't know his name.
So, instantly slams the button a million times, Frollo. I'm like, I'm sorry, he's gonna wipe the floor with both of them. I don't care that he may be smaller than both of them combined. That he wields the power of, he thinks he has the jurisdiction of fucking, like, the church and God. So, so religious delusion, while being an absolute bastard. Yeah, no, that's, and he basically, he does succeed in killing somebody in the first few minutes of the movie. We'll make that clear. Not including all the ones that he's purged, off screen, at other points. So, yeah, and then he's also not afraid to punish those who rise up against him. Meanwhile, you have the sheriff, who, yeah, at least is a more active character in Robin Hood versus Prince John, who just sits on his butt. And Gantu, he's a guy. Generally, he's a guy just trying to do his job, and he just gets the short end of the stick at the end. No,
I don't like Eddie's statement of Christianity versus furries. Just to state, you don't want to know how much I hated looking up this character, because the first thing on the first row is like an uber Baki buff piece. Like a Bara piece of Gantu.
Wait, of which? I believe it. You know what? I do
buff
believe
shark it. Boy. And it's just
because he is. He's like a shark whale. He's a.
Yes, but
he's
I'm just saying.
He's a shale.
I saw some things. I saw some things I did not want to see. Just trying to get a good PNG of him.
Oh my.
But yes, so your vote is for Frollo. Max, is your vote for anything that's not Frollo?
I mean, The shark dude is not even a villain now, is he? He's
Again,
literally
Isaac,
just
he's a guy doing his job.
Exactly, he's literally just galactic law enforcement sent after an actual living super weapon. Let's not forget, Stitch is canonically a world-destroying super weapon.
Mm-hmm.
He just can't swim.
He's a kaiju
Yeah.
waiting to happen. Like,
So
he
yeah,
looks at a city line and he's like,
so
Yeah, if only
in-
he were above, 2.5 feet tall or whatever.
too bad he's not. He's just baby sized.
He's just 3 feet tall. He's just a baby. So, yeah, if he were any bigger, he would have had the full capacity to take down entire civilizations. So, anyway.
Sorry,
So
Max.
yeah, we don't. As far as I'm concerned, there are only 2 villains on this screen right now. So then it's Frollo versus the sheriff. Yeah, the sheriff. I mean, is he even that threatening?
He's
of
just
a
capitalism.
Yeah, and he. I mean, also
Local
that.
government.
Yeah, he comes in. He's a little bit of a douche. He's a bully. But honestly, this his weasel henchman with the bow and arrow have a creepier, more menacing aura than the sheriff.
Yeah.
So, by process of elimination, without having said a single word about Frollo, he wins.
Also, Tony J.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, come on. Like, that
freaking
voice.
Tony
Hellfire,
J as Frollo.
Hellfire is one of the best Disney songs of all time, let alone villain songs. Yeah, look, this is the most predictable one, honestly. It's Frollo. I don't need to explain anything. There's plenty of video essays about why Frollo is so fantastic. You can go watch those. You're on YouTube right now.
And also, if I may, plugging for the stage musical of Hunchback, where they had the version of it that went up at La Jolla Playhouse years ago. Sucks that it never made it truly to Broadway, bastards. But they did have a version of it, the stage musical. It's a full shot of it on YouTube, and you can see how well they handled. Like, if you wanted to see a version of Hunchback that didn't have as much of the gargoyle, it didn't have any of the gargoyles
The
being the comedic
sanitizing it
devices
needed
here.
to have so it can have the rating it would that it did.
Yeah, and so this is like if it was a little closer to the source material, but still being connected to the Disney version of it as well. But they delve really well into Frollo, and especially into more of his form in the books. So it's really well handled, especially how much more threatening he is when he truly thinks he deludes himself into thinking he's doing the right things, like doing the good and holy things. Whereas the movie Frollo, he's diabolical, but yeah, he still uses the grounds of religion to do that. He thinks he's right in it. But you have this Frollo in the stage play who really does think he's trying to do the right thing, especially because he has a personal connection to a very, very personal connection to what goes down in the play. So anyway, that's all I'll say. And get out of here, Prince John. Get out of here.
I just
Get off
noticed
his
that.
lap.
I
Get
just
off his
noticed.
lap.
I just noticed that him and Frollo have a very similar pose.
He wants to be him so bad.
Who are you? I'm you, but better. But yes, no. To the shock of literally no one, Frollo's gonna be on the list. God, that's gonna be a fucking beatdown later, isn't it? Like, it's Frollo versus Tamatoa. Like, Frollo's gonna beat up a crab. Like,
It's like, Frollo's having crab rolls tonight.
but yes, we are done with the preliminaries. So we have our full matchups. We have time. We are actually pretty good on time. So, our matchups for the left side. So let's just focus on the left side today. I think that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's start on the top.
We have Mother Gothel versus Lady Tremaine, King Candy versus Yzma, Radigan versus Shere Khan, Rourke from Atlantis versus Shan Yu, Sykes from Oliver and Company versus Dr. Facilier, Skorg, the other pirate from Treasure Planet. You can see
Yeah, the spider crab.
Spider Crab from Treasure Planet. Cowboy Dude from Home on the Range. Tamatoa versus Frollo. And this matchup right here. We'll get back to the bottom one soon. Of Bowler Hat Guy, and yeah. You'll see why. So, let's start with the top. It's a good place to start. With the battle
I had to buffer for a second, and I remember you saying the cowboy guy from Home on the Range, and I'm like sitting here, Alameda Slim, you put some respect on his fucking yodeling name.
Randy Quaid from Home on the Range.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Anyways, we're gonna start with the Battle of the Bad Moms. With Mother Gothel versus Lady Tremaine. This one's an interesting one. So, may I start this off?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Mother Gothel. Like, Lady Tremaine is a bastard. Like, she is such a despicable person for such a small stakes. Because, like, there's no, like, overarching, like, world-dominating reason for her to be as mean as she is to Cinderella. She just doesn't like her. Because she knows that she's better than her kids.
She's just like, fuck this child in particular.
Yeah. Like, the only, like, quote-unquote, like, things that could be world-domineering are when the prince comes by and it's like, oh, I can get my daughter's, you know, a wealthy husband kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
She just does what she does out of just a sheer power trip. Meanwhile, Gothel here, like, that kid is her lifeline, basically. But not just that, she is, I would argue, a worse abuser than... Oh, wait, hold on. Here we go. I would argue she's a worse abuser than Tremaine. Because, you know, at least we can argue that Cinderella, like, has knowledge of the outside world. Yeah. She may not be able to go outside much, but she knows what it is. Like, she only gets really locked up in the tower when the prince got there with the shoe. Yeah. Meanwhile, this woman kept a child in a tower and training her to believe that the world was going to kill her for
18 years.
For 18 years. And then, like, constantly love-bombed her and made her feel not even pretty and all this stuff. And, like,
she's the type that would spank her child and say, this is because I love you.
And, like, she can't even, like, look at Rapunzel and say, I love you. She says, I love you to her hair.
Hair. She pets her hair.
And like...
brushes her hair.
I hate to pull the card of the TV show, but, like, Rapunzel still has some...
It's a good TV show.
Rapunzel still has some lasting trauma from Mother Gothel, that when she sees flashbacks of Gothel, she still calls Gothel Mother. Like, this woman fucked Rapunzel up. Cinderella at least lived a happily ever after at the end. I don't think Cinderella needed therapy. Rapunzel, though, definitely does. So I think Gothel is a much more despicable villain. And I mean, she basically held the Fountain of Youth hostage, so...
yeah.
That's also bad. So that is my choice. Max, what about you? Classic versus...
I recall... I recall we had a long and very, very positive go on Lady Tremaine back during the tier list. We agreed on...
Same with Gothel, though.
Yeah. But yeah, we agreed that Tremaine has one hell of a presence, especially if you consider that she's basically a normie. She's just a lady who's running a household. And she still managed to be one hell of a abusive, nasty lady. So that is quite impressive. But there was a but coming.
There was a but.
That's it. She's a nasty lady. She's an abuser. but we are looking at the Disney villain battle bracket. We are looking at like who in a ring of villainous, of actual active villainous, can hold their ground. And we are talking here versus a manipulator who knows her way around supernatural forces and artificially extending her own life versus a mean old lady. Yeah, she can.
The
She
speed
can
run to put you in a retirement home.
Yeah, that is like, ooh, she can make her eyes glow when she's standing in the dark, but okay, half of the people on the list can do that. Sorry. Ooh, she can put a key in her coat pocket. Ooh.
Ooh.
Look this other bitch, like breaking apart a stoned, a walled up door, break it apart with her hand more or less, and run up those stairs. I want to see Lady Tremaine having a stair up race versus Mother Gothel. No, this is a easy one for me, Mother Gothel.
All right. Any objections, Lauren?
Yeah, no, I don't have any objections, honestly. I mean, again, it's like Tremaine walked so that Gothel could run. Because up the stairs. Yeah. So that Gothel could climb up there. And but it's especially hard though. I mean, as much as my vote will still go to Gothel, I do want to point out too is that it is hard as much as like again, it's like poor Rapunzel and Cinderella both went through just different forms of abuse, but it was still abuse both ways you had it. Like Cinderella had, at least when, she had her dad and then the dad died, but then the stepmother was almost like, again, she's like, I have to deal with this kid, and then just puts her to be more of a slave around the house, right? So, but then you have Gothel, who literally deliberately kidnaps a child and keeps her hostage for 18 years, even though she claims, like, she tries to, quote, shower her with love and affection that isn't genuine, but it's like, but it's still, again, it's playing mind games. It's messing with her mind and her perception of the world and keeping her locked up in a tower with no other window to the world besides one, and not letting her leave, not doing anything. Like, it's like, yeah, but both different horrible forms of abuse. And, but I still hear going, but Mother Gothel deliberately kidnapped a child to make this happen, and for her own selfish needs.
And
like,
put,
Tremaine was
the
being
king and queen
petty.
through years of trauma of being like, is our kid still alive?
Exactly. Like, she literally threw a whole kingdom into turmoil with her choices. Tremaine's just being a petty bitch. I hate her. And, but at the very least, you know what? The one redemptive thing that she ever, and I'm not saying this is even her, it's the fact that she had Anastasia. Because Drizel's awful, but Anastasia is like her redemptive child. That, like, even Cinderella's like, you know what, I know you're not all bad. And what's nice is when you have, like Cinderella 2 wasn't the greatest thing, but Cinderella 3 was solid.
Is
to
that
have
the one?
Anastasia
Is that
there.
the one where the prince jumps out the window?
Yes!
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that one.
Cinderella 3: A Twist in Time is a fantastic film. And it surprised me how many people did not know it was a thing. I'm like, please go watch it. It's genuinely good. And actually, in both 2 and 3, because 2 is more like, again, like little like short stories, as an anthology series in one movie. But both in that and in Twist in Time, Anastasia is like shown to be like, she's not completely a villain. She's kind of like, she's a means well girl kind of dragged into things by her mother and her stepsister and her sister. So, yeah, it's like, so either way, going back to the original point is that Gothel acted deliberately to like kidnap a child, throw an entire kingdom into turmoil, all for eternal youth. Yeah, she's awful.
Yeah.
No, Gothel, not awful.
I mean, that's why they rhyme. Wow. But yes, so our next matchup, the one that will eventually go against Mother Gothel, we have King Candy from the past preliminary and Yzma. Yzma. Now,
good old Yzma.
I know someone here is a big Emperor's New Groove fan, has campaigned for it heavily. So
it's very true, and it became best Disney movie, didn't it?
it became best Disney movie through it. So,
According to
Lauren,
three
why
idiots.
don't you start us off? What King Candy versus Yzma?
Oof. Shoot.
Harder than it seems.
It is harder than it seems.
Pick the right lever.
Pull the lever. It's funny because Yzma does also succeed in taking over a kingdom through her own means. Dang it, but she also comes with Kronk, who I think, when the duo are together, that makes it already way more entertaining to me than King Candy. They had a whole TV series, too. So I go, we've had way more time with Yzma. Yeah, no, I don't see it. So I'm like, we have way more time with Yzma, and thank God we did for as long as we had Eartha Kitt for, because she was amazing. There is no Yzma without Eartha Kitt. Yeah, well, I'm gonna, I'll let my bias win over on this one, because, but then again, we have more time with Yzma, and she is a very, far more comical villain, and a truly diabolical one, I would say.
But she's like
She
the
still has so
epitome
much
of comical villain. I feel like she's a better comical villain than Hades.
Yeah, I
Uh-oh, we're losing her. We're losing her.
I'm gonna assume that she agreed. King Candy heard it, and in fact, Turbo came into her computer.
Well. So, what about you?
Oh, well, I was gonna go with Yzma. Cause Yzma's just iconic. I mean, King Candy's great, don't get me wrong, but
A robot. I hear voices from the afterlife.
And
I hope she hasn't been monologuing the entire time and wasn't aware that we can't hear her.
I can hear the syllables for Candy.
Same here.
But
Text in the chat to be like, Lauren, you're roboting.
Not just. I have the feeling that literally her entire speech came through one syllable at a time, spread out over multiple minutes.
Oh no.
Just
What's even happening?
I'm scared.
The
Max, I'm scared.
stream is haunted. Give us a sign.
Don't phasmophobia this.
Give us a sign. Where are you?
Are you mad? The temperature is getting lower. How does that work?
God.
She's from California.
What do you think? How she makes it in California so long? Buddy, yeah, okay.
But we know that she voted for Yzma.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, I also vote for Yzma because look, she's competent and she's hilarious, which I think is a very hard combo to get. And yeah, she succeeds. Well, he ain't getting any deader. I absolutely adore her, and even when she loses, I think that she's still great. And she's also very ruthless. I just love Yzma. She's perfect. King Candy's good, but you're putting a pastiche of the Mad Hatter that has a twist villain thing over Yzma. Come on now. Come on.
King Candy ran so that Yzma could time travel to run even faster before him.
So
doing this
Yzma,
right?
so Yzma could hit the wrong lever.
Exactly. No, this was Kronk.
Why does she even have that lever?
Because she's just that evil. And she doesn't fall into evil overlord mistakes, when one of her minions gets turned into a cow, she allows him to go home, because come on. And
someone in the chat pointed out, Kuzco's kind of a dick because Yzma raised him that way. Because Yzma says that she basically raised the kid. Yeah, I wonder how we got that. You know, like, she's her own undoing. Just keep talking, my computer is overheating.
Oh no,
Oops.
yeah, I see it. Oh gee.
I guess we can vamp a bit, I guess.
So talking about
Let's talk about the matchups on the right while we wait.
I was about to say, like, if we can make it through 2 more matchups, then we have a quarter done of the first round.
Yes.
So, like, as a good catch, because I'm also not sure how much longer, once her computer is back among the living, how much longer Lauren can stay with us.
She said till 1, which is still an hour away.
Okay, but she needs to be somewhere at 1, doesn't she?
Yeah, well, yeah. Point.
Okay.
People don't say to put ice on Lauren's computer. That's not gonna... It's not... That's not good. The computer cannot drink liquid. But she was outside, so her computer probably overheated because she was outside.
We're talking laptop or...
Yes. Now, yeah, she was on her laptop outside. So, just briefly, I'm gonna just talk about the matches up on the right. So, what people can expect later. So we have...
Zoom in further!
Is that better?
Oh yeah, okay. Now we're actually seeing the matchups and can slowly build up.
Yes, so we
Okay.
have Captain Hook versus Ursula.
So the aquatic ones. Then we
Yes.
have the match of the colonists.
Yep, we got Radcliffe, I think, versus Clayton. Then we got the Madams together. We got Madame Medusa versus Madame Mim. I figured out her name.
She has a name.
She wasn't just Rescuers Lady.
I'm
Then we
pretty
got-
sure that's what I called her in this thing.
No, that's exactly what you... chat, do you want to know the names that Max called people he didn't know? They were... it was Rescuers Lady, Tarzan Dude, Pocahontas Dude, Mulan Dude.
It's true. It's a true story. I'm not going to deny it.
But yes, we have Maleficent versus Gaston. That one's going to be fun.
That is a curious one indeed.
Then we got Jafar versus Ka. See how snake-like he
Snake
can
men.
be.
Yeah.
Then we got Rescuers Down Under Dude, which...
So the 2 animal poachers.
Yeah,
or
that's exactly
poachers?
what I was thinking. Versus Cruella de Vil. Then we got Yokai versus the butler from Aristocats. You know, I named that one the pathetic tier.
Uh-huh.
And then this one, which I have to move my avatar
Another
to
furry
show it on
tier.
stream. Yeah, I named this one Horrible Animals, which is Bellwether and the ultimate villain, Buck Cluck from Chicken Little. One of the conversations we had when we were making the video, when we were making the list, was, can we put Chicken Little's dad on here because he's an ultimate villain? And Max is like, oh, of course. You have to put him on there. He's terrible. Man, we have 3 abusive parents in this list.
Probably even more. I mean, we're talking Disney.
True. Disney has a thing against parents.
/ parent figures, because Mask Dude, the Hero 6 dude, he is also a father figure.
Yes, but his motivation to do the things that he does is because of his kid, not that he's abusing his kid.
That's true. Oh,
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, the kid went into a portal, like a Hadron Collider kind of thing.
Yep. It was
Honestly,
stuck in another dimension.
can recommend we swap Rescuers and Gaston, have a dragon battle. No.
Rescuers Gaston.
That was it.
Ah,
that was his
those
mistake to
dragons.
make. Yes, I love that line. I also love that line because Trey Frillas uses it so much. That was his mistake to make. I fucking hate Big Hero 6. I don't know how much I ranted about that movie when we did the movie battle brackets, but I rewatched Big Hero 6 recently. because I watched the Baymax shorts. The Baymax shorts are delightful and cute. I like Baymax. I fucking hate the movie he's in, though. It's such a exposition-heavy movie. I don't want my movie to hold my hand. Like, I'm not a baby. And I don't think this movie is for babies. It has a lot of death in it.
Yeah, they just don't stop killing people. Gee.
I'm just saying, I don't know what's the quota of death per baby, you know? Like, how much babies should be consuming death.
Also to address the chat, unless we are going Steamboat Willie, Pete is hardly a villain. He's kind of a stand-in for whenever Mickey has an adventure, but...
Lauren's back!
He's just a fill-in. He's just rent an antagonist.
Yeah,
Oh,
like at
okay.
like at worst, he's just an asshole dad in Goof Troop. He's not really a villain. Like, I think maybe he's a bit of a bad guy in like House of Mouse because he's a competing club owner. But again, he's just the fill-in. He's not a villain. He's a fill-in.
Hey.
But Lauren, you're
So, yeah.
muted, so...
Coincidence? I think not.
But at least she's here.
She is.
Yeah, sorry,
Silent.
I literally had to restart my computer. It
No, you're
definitely
fine.
hated.
Yeah.
So
It's okay. It's fine.
anyway,
We were able to vamp. We talked about some of the matchups that are on the right side, including having Buck Cluck over here.
oh no, completely agree.
so don't worry. You're
Screw
all
'em.
good. You're all good, Lauren. But chat, give love to Lauren. Lauren's a good egg. You
Her
know,
computer
funny you
is
say that in
she is.
It's funny you say that in the same span of talking about Buck Cluck.
yes. You know what, Lauren? You deserve a little treat here. I'm going to give you a little friend.
Uh-oh, I have a bad feeling.
You'll see it on the stream if it buffers. Just there we go. Perfect. Anyway, so let's continue on. We have our next matchup, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. I want Max to start this one because it's the furry
Oh
one.
boy. Zoom in! Get me to the matchup. There we go.
We
Excellent.
have Radigan versus Shere Khan.
That's a tricky one, isn't it?
Classic furry
disclaimer.
villains.
True. Disclaimer, I definitely recall having watched Basil at some point, but I have not the strongest memories of it.
You are a
So
terrible furry.
I would agree.
We need to watch Great Mouse Detective during a TV time.
Apparently.
It's such a good movie.
Apparently we do have to. But yeah, so this is a little bit of a disclaimer. But still, what do we have here? Shere Khan, now we had incidences before where, like, with Oogie Boogie and I believe somebody else, where we were like, yeah, their presence is kind of there, but the character, the villain, themselves is barely in the movie. I mean, Shere Khan a little bit more because I believe he arrives halfway through the movie and is then interacting with people, learning about Mowgli, and is like, oh, my lunch has arrived. Before they finally have their big clash at the end.
Mm-hmm.
He's also one of the classics, of course. And again, Mouse Detective wasn't that much later on, how was it?
What
we have
are
two
you
classics.
talking about? Of course it was much later. Great Mouse Detective was like
It was 1988.
Oh,
Yes.
88. Wow.
It came out the same year Who Framed Roger Rabbit was. Like, and
Jungle Book?
Jungle Book was like 1969.
Jungle Book was 1967.
67.
Oh my, that's
Oh yeah, because
that's
the Beatles were still firmly together when that movie was being made. Like,
And
Wow,
then
that's,
again, Jungle Book was still in production when Walt Disney died. So it was
Yeah.
the last one he had his hands on before he died.
Just to call out Max a bit, this is the same man who thought that a movie from the 1930s that he had on VHS tape was from the 80s. What was it? Mr.
Yeah.
Grasshopper Goes to Town or something?
Town. Oh yeah.
And
There's so many politically very correct and up-to-date jokes.
He was like, hey, we've been watching a lot of nostalgic stuff. You want to see this movie from when I was a kid? It's like from the 80s or something. And I'm like, sure, I never heard of it, but sure. And we're watching it. I'm like, Max, this does not look like it's from the 80s. It's like, what are you talking about? And then I looked it up. It's like, is this the movie? Yeah. It says it was made in like 1942.
Whoops.
Well, I saw it in the 80s.
Exactly.
When I was baby.
Most really old stuff. Exactly. I saw a lot of stuff in the 80s for the first time.
But yes, so, but
So, yeah,
the
what a
point,
movie. I
point being, you still haven't made your vote.
My vote, right. I was still working on that one. So
Yeah,
yeah,
before I
still.
bullied
So yeah, we have a true classic versus a kind of classic from our nowadays point of view. I mean, it was still 2D animation, so that counts for something. Yeah, I'm feeling bad because my memories of Radigans are so. I mean, he was the dude who with the little bell and the giant kitty, right?
Vincent Price, yes, like
Yeah, and he had
I
the
love
great.
being nasty.
Then having his convoluted trap for Basil, and then the big battle at the clock tower.
Set it off now? Yes, we'll set it off. Can you
We'll set
tell
the
that?
trap off now.
Can you tell that Great Mouse Detective was a very formative movie for me?
Nah, couldn't tell.
I'm pretty sure Great Mouse Detective was my furry awakening. To the
You know
shock
what?
of no one, that the movie with
the
Basil
shock
of
of
Baker
zero.
Street.
Even so, I'm risking of making it boring. This entire round, I might go with Radigan. Even the fuzzy memories aside, the thing is like Shere Khan. Okay, Shere Khan is like everybody's like, ooh, Shere Khan, the tiger. Ooh, Ka is pretty intimidated, but come on, it's Ka. Ka is intimidated by anybody.
He's intimidated by a little boy.
Exactly. So Ka being intimidated doesn't really say a lot. And then if you look at okay, Shere Khan is actually able to beat up Baloo, which is a huge giant bear. So he comes in with a little bit of melee. He's a threat. He's not nobody. But then you have him like come in being all smug ass, and then you not burning thingy to his tail, and he's like, no,
At the end of the day, he's still a cat. Like, just...
Yeah, exactly. While Radigan has actually wit. I mean, both are.
I mean, he's
phenomenally
Moriarty. Like, let's
full
be
of them.
real here.
Exactly.
That's what he is.
I mean, they're both phenomenally full of themselves, but if you're talking about finesse, about what they bring to the table, Radigan has more to bring to the table than just bronze.
Exactly. And you know, what Shere Khan does... I guess I'll go next. Also,
Apparently.
let me just say, Lauren, I love the Prince John in your hair, because with how his image is cropped, it kind of looks like he's sticking out of your hair.
Sticking out of the floof of my hair.
Like he's kind of nestled into the floof.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. You can sit here. You're fine.
You can't go anywhere else, so...
It's like he keeps coming back no matter how many times we shove him out the door anyway, so might as well stay.
Now he's stuck in the quicksand that is your hair. But yes, so here, because I mean, look, Jungle Book was like a childhood movie for me. I had the VHS of Jungle Book, just like I had the VHS of Great Mouse Detective. But I had the VHS for Jungle Book longer than I had the VHS for Great Mouse Detective. I also had the soundtrack for Jungle Book. But, so I had a lot of it, and Shere Khan is a threatening villain. Like, the way he's animated, they were able to capture so much of just how a tiger moves and how he just kind of leers and everything. He's He's a very
The animating
threatening...
stripes is no joke.
Yeah, he's a villain to animators. That's what he is. But he's like, you know, he's a very threatening presence, and he's so like down to earth with that threatening. Like his conversation with Ka being like, "Oh, no, none of that." When Ka tries to do his little "trust in me" bit, he's like, no, none of that. He doesn't even need a villain song. He just barges in on another song with his badass baritone and is like, "So what's up? Here, the man cub is here." But like but that's the thing. The thing that separates Radigan and Shere Khan is that Shere Khan is hunting Mowgli out of fear. At the end of the day, he's hunting Mowgli because if Mowgli grows up and stays in the jungle, Mowgli's at the top of the food chain, not Shere Khan. He's doing everything out of fear. Radigan is doing everything he wants out of power. He's not afraid about his position currently in the world. He just wants more of it. He wants to be the man, the mouse, even though he is a rat. And
But you don't tell him that.
Yeah, don't tell him that or else he's gonna go feral and then beat you up in a clock tower. But yeah, Radigan is just, I think he's just more despicable from, like, that is my main argument, is that at the end of the day, Shere Khan is kind of, you know, he's that type of bully that tries to punch down. Radigan's punching right up. He wants to defeat the queen.
Shere Khan is like the other quadrupedal feline we had in here. He's just a boy. He's just,
it's his birthday. Come on.
It's his birthday. He just want to have a party. Come on.
It's my birthday.
Little boy. Yeah. It's just a boy.
But yes, I'm going to go with Radigan too. Lauren, do you have any counterculture points you want to make?
As much as Shere Khan, I mean, I think it's just because, again, the Nine Old Men, all their varying animation styles were heavily influential to me, and it's so, but Shere Khan was one of those characters that was like, I looked at that going, goals. Like, the head swaggle, the swagger he carries, the subtleties in his animation while still being, like, intimidating. As much as he was very influential for me as an animator, I'm going with Radigan as the better villain because, yeah, I think, again, is the kind of, he's like a powder keg that's ready to explode at any given point, and the only thing keeping him together is just, like, he just has to have that cool-off moment to return back to polish, because he has to constantly tell himself, he has to delude himself that he's like, I am still a very smart, intelligent creature whose brains are equivalent to that of Basil of Baker Street. He is my sworn enemy. He is my equal in competition. While all denying his true nature, which is a completely feral, bestial creature. And because you see that in full force when he is fully mad. I mean, he goes, it's like reverting to monkey. It's like, for him, it's reverting to rat. He goes,
revert to rat.
He returns to
rats.
rat.
We are the rats.
And it's funny because, again, rats can be very sweet. Like domesticated rats can be very cute, very sweet. He's just like fucking feral.
Yeah,
like he's
look,
like one of those. He's like the New York pizza rat. That's like, you know, like the, you know, he's you know, extremely just like will fight you in a back alley, and will bite as part of it too.
To the three Gen Z, Gen Alpha people in my chat, to translate to you in words you don't understand, he's not a Bingus. He's more like a Mingus. If you get what that, I'm sorry. Look, I try to understand their speak. It's just kind of noises that sound like syllables.
But anyway, yeah, my argument stands still is that yeah, no, points go to Radigan. He is, and plus, you have to think, he also, you have one that's a cat, and then you have one who wields a cat as part of business.
Yes, exactly. So
Radigan, a ginormous cat at that.
Radigan gets to move forward. So
he intimidates with the ring of a bell.
Exactly.
That's how powerful he is, because then you know, like, the frickin' beast is coming.
The beast as in Fluffy. But yes.
Big old fluffy Persian cat.
I'm gonna make an executive decision here.
Ooh-ha.
Scary Ratatouille for the win. Thank you.
Scary
for that.
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
This is
I mean, he does control a robot like, you know, how Remy would control Linguini. So you know what? I can't argue with that.
What is you know that there's like this one person on YouTube who makes a bunch of villain songs based off of protagonist songs in Disney movies?
Yeah.
We need one where they take the "We'll follow you to Mars" or "Wherever you people go" from like that Ratatouille short, but
from the
make
special
it
about
evil.
Yeah, the one that's saying like, you know, the educational rat short.
Yeah, that's rats aren't actually bad, and then it ends with a big thing being like, Pixar does not condone the language that was used here.
Yeah.
But no, my executive decision, given the fact that your computer literally overheated, I feel like let's do Shan Yu versus Rourke, and we'll call it for today. Because we did a lot, because we also did preliminaries that were like their own brackets in and of themselves. And then we can return next time, finish this side, and we will probably have time to do the other side as well. Probably not the semifinals, that'll be for, I guess, October. But, you know, I feel like that's a fair thing, right, guys?
Sounds good to me.
I'd say so.
All right, what a weird one to end it off on with the iconic Shan Yu versus Rourke. So let's see. I guess who hasn't gone first in a bit? I guess Lauren.
I was gonna say, I'm retracing. I can't remember. Maybe me.
Yeah, Lauren. We got Shan Yu.
I was so caught up in
Rourke.
my computer overheating that I forgot the order.
It's okay. So please do tell us who wins this battle of the, I guess some people would say underrated villains.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, and then I would say they're cusp 90s, early 2000s.
They are also a
underrated
type
villains.
of colonizer, I would assume, or conqueror.
In a way.
I guess is the better way to
Conqueror.
Oh, yeah. That is a good one.
Yeah, there's conquerors over here
So-
and colonizers on the other side.
So I think, I'm sitting here as I love both movies, and both villains are both very chilling, and especially when you have Shan Yu, who's basically based off of, like, you know, real people, like, you know, historically. Yeah. Like Attila the Hun, Genghis Khan, that kind of, it's like all that kind of thing. So, and then you have Rourke, who's based off of think of any capitalistic asshole out that goes to conquer and steal and pillage, and do it for money. But to be fair, he is better at it. I would say he's better at sneakily doing it than say Clayton was in Tarzan. As a good parallel, saying two guys go in with the intention of pillaging and taking something back that's important to a whole other world for money. Rourke does it better because he does come across as a threat, because he does have a whole, I mean, Clayton did kind of have an army at his disposal, kind of just a few people. But Rourke had military clearance. He was he was like a government guy, so he's got a fearsome backing behind him. And also when you have power delusions of thinking you can get away with shit because you think you're covered on all bases, so you can do whatever you want and push whoever you want around. Then you have Shan Yu, who is literally he's killed people en masse with his army, and he's very fearsome, and you see the clear devastation of what he and his army do. And he's very intimidating when he presents himself to anybody who is only ever so fortunate enough to escape from him for a few seconds before being shot down in the back. It's... Ooh. But I think at the end of it, though, is that Rourke... Again, I know I'm not trying to say he's a more believable villain, even though he is. It's also just, like, I think it's because because Shan Yu does have a presence, but not as solid of a presence as Rourke is, because Rourke is with you through the entire journey to Atlantis, and then right as they're about to head back is when he shows his true colors. Even though you can kind of figure he's gonna be an asshole down the road, you figure, okay, yeah, when he turns, okay, I saw this one coming because he's kind of a dick. But it was also just he was so close to winning, like taking the power source from Atlantis, and because people were afraid to speak up against him, he almost got away with it, right? So, and he was gonna do it, and he was gonna not only do that, he was gonna sell it off to like foreign enemies at the time to be like to use as a weapon power source for, you know, mass annihilation, basically.
He had no alliance to anyone but himself.
So, meanwhile, Shan Yu, he was confident enough in himself and his army that he thinks that's all. I mean, I think it's, again, he had his alliance with his troops, but even then, we don't get attached enough to him as a villain. He is more like a force rather than an individual, I guess you could say, because he and his men are all bloodthirsty and very fearsome and highly skilled at what they do, but they all act kind of like as a unit, whereas Rourke can act independently and is willing to do so. He will throw anybody under the bus to achieve what he wants.
So your vote is for Rourke.
My vote is for Rourke as the better villain.
All right. What about you, Max?
So, Atlantis dude versus Mulan dude.
Yes, which is what you titled them in the document. Yes.
Yeah.
Guys, here's the thing. He's probably seen both movies. Max is fantastically bad with names, even of things he likes and watches often.
Ask Catherine and Lorraine in the call with me. They both can confirm that. Not great with names.
Yeah, just ask Catherine, Lorraine,
yeah, that's it.
Colleen, I guess. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other bad. I'm not good with coming up with slightly
either
wrong
way.
names.
So, here's the thing. True evil villains who are more a presence and who are very static and whatnot are stable. They are great in what they do, but they also always usually are used in pieces where it is not about the villain, where it is more about the people, the protagonists, and that they need to overcome more in themselves than a very cunning, screwed antagonist, which is kind of the thing what the kind of more black and white, black and white force of nature type of villain is what Mulan dude is. So
Shan Yu.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah.
So that is where I'm also like, yeah, he's a presence. He is a great sinister design, but at the end of the day, there is not too much beyond him, besides the presence. Besides the presence, besides being a big guy with a sword. While, yeah, on the other hand, we have somebody who is like, no, you from the beginning, you are like, yeah, he's not a great dude, but he is a competent leader of the expedition. And when he turns twist villain, quote unquote, it's not like, oh, I didn't see this one coming. It's like, shit. Yeah, kind of Atlantis dude being not a nice guy was established, and actually turning against the protagonist is not really that much of a surprise there. So he is a villainous presence even without being villainous all the time, but it's a very convincing character overall. So yeah, I would also go with Atlantis dude.
Oh, this is going to be a very boring vote because I was also going to go with Rourke. Because here's the thing, like, I do think Shan Yu is underrated because just how much of a force of nature he is. He's terrifying, like legit.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think one of like the most oh shit moments I had first time watching a movie was when I was a kid watching Mulan, and you know the girl we're fighting for number is happening, and everyone's like do a girl we're fighting. Just
And it
devastated
immediately cuts
village.
to bloodshed and devastation. Like,
and even before that, because like you know you have the scene with Shan Yu being like, I need to return, I think this little girl wants her doll back, and it's like,
We should
oh, that's
return
not
it to
good.
her. I'm
I
like,
don't think that's not good, but my little baby brain's not going to interpret that this is going to lead to something.
Yeah, I don't feel safe.
I don't feel safe, and I had the right to, because just that was like without showing any like body kill count or anything, just destroyed buildings and implications. Like that's the thing about Shan Yu, is so much implications. The guy who didn't like musicals, think of the implications. Are you frightened? Like, you know, there's a lot with him. He's also just like, his designs are really cool, and like the Huns just barreling down the mountain, like, you know, him and the Huns are a presence. But that's the thing. A force of nature is like a hurricane. The hurricane doesn't have a character. It has a name. But, you know, you're not hearing a song from the hurricane, besides maybe wind. Meanwhile, Rourke is memorable. And I know that's really ironic given that, you know, we've been calling him like Atlantis dude. But like with many things with Atlantis, he's very quotable. I can't think of a single, well, besides the returning the doll quote from Shang Yu, I can think of like a bunch more quotes for Rourke, you know, like him lighting the match and being like, all right, head count, who's dead? Or, you know, when he's fighting Milo at the end, he's like, you got it, you win the gold Cupid doll. Like, his villainous breakdown is great. Also, he has one of the most terrifying Disney deaths.
Oh yeah.
Like, if we did a battle bracket for Disney death scenes,
Ooh.
future idea, put that on the docket. But like, of Disney death scenes, or a tier list of Disney death scenes, he goes into S tier immediately. He gets eaten by sentient crystal and just dies.
And then just shatters.
That's what I thought would happen to fucking Anna after she gets frozen. Someone's gonna tip her over and then like, that's scary as hell. Because also, I'm pretty sure his insides turn to lava. All of this is bad. But yeah, like, he's also very charismatic, as is the entire crew of Atlantis. And that's what makes you almost a bit sad that he's a villain. You kind of just want him to be an asshole. But, like, it just makes the thing of, like, you have to have this whole journey with him, and then he betrays you and hurts you, but not in a twist way. It's just kind of a, okay, when does the stabbing happen? And it hurts, and I think that's just the great thing. With Shang Yu, we kind of get cuts of him, and then him fighting Mulan. That's it. The Rourke benefits from build-up. So, good job, Atlantis. We love you. Kiss, kiss. Wow, that's gonna be an interesting battle of Radigan versus Rourke. They both start with R!
R!
The R! But yes,
the pirate battle.
The tyrant battle. Oh, there you go. Willing to kill their henchman battle. Because this one was about to let that Russian girl just straight up die.
Yep. I came down the chimney. Ho, ho,
Ho,
ho.
ho. Current music doesn't match the current discussion. No, it does not. No, it does not. But you know what? So does a bunch of Disney things. Welcome to Disney, the happiest place on earth. Impaling. Ran over by trains, hung by jungle vines.
Or
Happiest
just in
place.
general, the amount of dead parents.
Dead parents, abusive parents, parents who climb on rocks and die. But
Those are the
yes,
worst.
so I know that it seems like we didn't do too much in this stream, but we actually did, because we picked out 3 preliminary people with King Candy, and Frollo and Maleficent, and that was a whole ordeal with like, you know, quite a few characters. And we got through 4 people who are going to fight against each other at a later date. So please do join us for 3 Idiots next month. We will have one next month. No more like 2 to 3 month long breaks. I'm putting my foot down. My foot is down. You can't see it, but it's down. I will kidnap these 2. I will Mother Gothel these 2. But, yes, join us next month for 3 Idiots when we go through the rest of these. If you guys want, I can put this battle bracket, you know, with these 4 characters moved aside. If you want to do it with us, we already decided the preliminaries. You can't put Hades in there. I mean, you can, but that's more effort for you.
You can, but we'll ignore it.
Well, you can, but we'll ignore it. But I'll put the blank one up there for now so you guys can, you know, blank quote
Play
unquote.
your own. Yeah.
So you can play your own so we can see. I mean, everyone really liked when I put the tier list on, but then you guys started just turning it into which ones you would fuck. Thanks for that one, guys.
Wait, this is not what we have been doing the entire time?
I'm sorry, do you want to fuck Yzma?
I mean, life experience.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like
Also,
one bad thrust and she turns to dust.
Keep in mind what the implication of Kronk is.
I know.
Where she gets a new one every few years.
I mean, yeah.
And Yzma, and look how fit she is throughout the movie. Yzma is very fit, and this woman has needs, and she knows what she wants.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure Kronk keeps his eyes closed during. Why don't you look at me during? I have many reasons. Also like Rat. I don't want to know the logistics of that.
I'm a ferret. This is not that much bigger. He's a very huge rat.
Yeah, he's huge.
Oh my, that's what she said.
There goes
What's
all
beyond-
the chance of
what's
monetization on this stream. Anyways, folks.
What's beyond cougar? Saber-toothed cat. That's what's beyond.
What's beyond cougar? I don't know. Woolly mammoth?
Well, that's why I said saber-toothed cat. If we're gonna stay in line with the cat line.
What's the name of that like creature that we evolved from fish that started to crawl on land? That's what Yzma is.
Also, she literally turns into a cat.
That is true. She does. But yes, everyone, thank you for coming by. Thank you, Lauren and Max, my wonderful fellow idiots, for stopping by.
course.
I'm glad to be doing this again.
Yes, I'm looking forward to the next round.
Yes, there's going to be some good matchups. Absolutely good ones. All of these people are 100% villains. All of them. Absolutely every single one.
Also, can I say something? Can I keep Prince John in my hair for the next round?
Yes, of course.
I think he's made his little nest in my hair. So I don't intend on disrupting that.
Yeah, no, look, he's comfy.
He's
Yeah.
very comfy.
That's his throne. He can't have a throne in the game, but he can have a throne on your head. Let's just hope it's not like
pretty much.
lice and we all start getting Prince Johns in our head.
Oh no.
Then we're gonna have to wash all the sheets, and that's just too much of a hassle. I don't know if that spreads to pets. I don't know if lice spreads to pets, like human lice spreads to animals. But then Rocket's gonna have a Prince John, and so is Phelps, and and Febby on my DA radio streams is gonna have a Prince John, and it's just gonna spread.
Oh, this is now part of the official cosmic lore. So now, just put a little Prince John on. In the next
no
radio
referencing,
on
no
there
acknowledging.
Exactly. Just put the little Prince John in the DA radio, and just like it's part of the official lore now.
It's part of the official lore, but yes, Prince John can stay in your head.
Yay.
But yes, everyone, thank you for joining us. You just watched 3 idiots duke out Disney villains in a bracket battle for about 2.5 hours. How do you feel about yourself? We will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your Saturday.